Mrs.
Hello.
Potato.
Hello, is this Paul?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Paul, this is Paul, Outsider Tacklebox radio show and podcast. We have my good buddy Tommy sitting next to me. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on, Paul?
Hey guys, what's up?
All right.
It's good to finally speak with you, Paul. I know that we have made contact in the past. Actually, Tommy, when we first started out, Paul and the Edmond High Bass
Yes.
team, we sponsored them, and
Yes,
so
we did.
Paul's been following us for quite some time.
Yes, he has.
So we appreciate everything that you have done for us, Paul, and thank you for spreading the word for Outsider Tacklebox.
Yes, we do appreciate that.
Yeah, of course. We love doing it for you guys. It's a lot of fun.
Well, we like to mess around with you guys too, so we obviously talk a lot of little smack, but that's who we are. In case, I'm
course.
sure you've watched the show a couple of times and you've seen like the two idiots that are on the show. One of which being Paul,
Yeah.
the smart one being me. But damn, my
Paul
hat
does
keeps wanting
actually.
to pop off my head.
Paul does a lot of. He has his own YouTube channel. He
Yes.
does a lot of other things, not just fishing, but he's got some other. He'll film pretty much, and he could tell us a little bit about it. But it's pretty much just the life and the day of Paul.
Hey, well, that's not too bad.
Isn't that right, Paul? Or did I get it
Yeah,
wrong?
I do a lot of things. It's a pretty entertaining life.
Well, you can't complain there. I mean, there you go. It's an entertaining life.
When I spoke with him, he was taking a class
Mhm.
and learning about media, and
You
Making
should have
some
probably
videos.
taken that class.
I can't take you seriously. I'm looking at Tommy. He's wearing he just looks so silly. But welcome to the show. And the idea behind the radio show and podcast is to spread happiness to the world through the joys of fishing. And you sent in a photo with, that thing is a giant bass. And so
Don't
we
talk
wanna
about
hear
him like that.
where you
Oh,
caught
you're
that
talking about the
fish,
fish. Oh, sorry.
what bait you were using, and the size, if you were able to measure it. And I understand you are a competitive bass fisherman, and so if that was in a tournament, that would be great. And you could go ahead and plug your bass fishing team and anything you want to, if you guys are competing. But let's hear your fish story.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So it was actually a pretty entertaining day. We started out catfishing that day, and it was just kind of a day that we were all hanging out as friends, and the catfish were not biting. Long story short.
Darn things.
But so yeah, so we decided to go and do what we were good at, which is bass fishing. So
There you go.
we went and hit a few local ponds that we fish a lot, that we go out and do a lot of practice in, like working on techniques like drop shotting and things like that. So we were out in we were on a back pond in this neighborhood that one of our friends lives in, and I was actually throwing a Nate's Custom Baits hybrid vibe.
Oh yes,
And-
those are good. Nate's Custom
Yeah,
Baits.
it
Did you
was
hear that,
a-
Tommy?
Yep,
I
yep,
don't know that.
yep.
Tommy's paying attention.
No, I
He
heard
said
Nate's
Nate's.
Custom Baits Vibra. Yeah, I know what it was.
Yeah.
Yep, it was a black and blue hybrid vibe, and just was throwing it on. I was actually throwing it on Landon's rod because my rod my reel backlashed, and I didn't have anything else. There's a reason we're called the Backlash Boys.
Yeah,
Backlash
there you
Boys.
go.
I was gonna hashtag Backlash Boys.
Well, it would
Yeah.
help if you said it right. Bashash.
Right. So yeah, that's actually our YouTube channel is Backlash Boys.
See, he
But,
even plugged himself because you couldn't do it. He didn't have any
Yeah,
faith in you.
there's a reason that we're called the Backlash Boys. So I
Nice.
just threw it. It was a really hot day, so just kind of threw it back up under a tree and burned it in and got nailed right on the shore. And it's actually funny because I have a video of this. This is on our channel.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, there's an entire video of this where we go catfishing. We end up at Walmart and stuff, and then we go and catch a giant bass. I scream. The neighbors think I'm insane.
That would probably throw them for a loop. They're like, there was a lot of screaming coming from the trees.
Yeah, they were very confused.
That's awesome.
We know
But
the
yeah,
feeling. People
it
look
was-
at us, and we
Well,
can tell what
They look
What
at
that
you
look,
and they get confused.
the body language people give us is. And not a lot of people know who we are, but when they do, they understand it.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people
Right.
just look at you and they're like, "What is that? Is that a man baby?"
Why is his hair like that?
It looks like a 12-year-old with a beard. And why is he hanging out with Sasquatch? I don't get it. I don't know.
Let's get back to Paul. It's
I
his
know.
fish story.
I know.
And he's got a lot of things to talk about because he's part of a bass fishing team.
Yes.
He's got buddies that fish with
Right.
him.
Yep.
Any
So,
tournament wins?
We we do not have any tournament wins, although it's been a pretty entertaining past few seasons with the team. Obviously, since we aren't directly built through the school, we have to fund everything.
Yeah.
So we don't get to make as much tournaments and stuff like that we would like to. But the tournaments that we do make, we've placed pretty well at. We had, I don't remember what it was. We had like a 20 place finish at the state championship last year
Beautiful.
out of 150 teams.
Yeah,
So
that's not too bad.
we when we go, we put up a good fight. But it's a good group of guys. Landon, Jameson, and Connor. They're just it's been fun growing up with them, and with me being it's a high school fishing team. So with me being a senior this year, it's kind of hard because they're all juniors. So I'm getting ready to dip
Well,
out.
I
and
mean,
be like, "Bye,
you're the
guys."
you're the big man on campus now. I mean, you've earned that
Right.
right. You've
Yeah.
earned that right.
And I love every bit of him being 20th. You know, it's like if you were 20 out of top 20 teams, that's kind of says everything outsider.
If you were 20th out of top, out of
You know,
top
the last place team needs a sponsor is what I'm saying, Tommy. Everybody needs a sponsor, and if something that had a brand called We're Outsiders, which is us, that's who their sponsor would be.
I appreciate
We
you
don't want first
defining
place
the name.
teams. I mean, it's okay.
Hey, first, it don't matter. That's the point. It don't matter whether you're first, last, or you didn't even compete, but you like fishing. Whatever.
It's like
fine.
you, Tommy. Like you're a
Exactly.
straight D student, right?
I
But
was.
we have you talking
I wouldn't
to
say
people.
straight D.
You got to see.
There may have been an F in there. In
Okay.
PE.
I can understand why you got an F in PE.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't keep this curvy figure by working out. I mean, come on, you don't do that.
Well, senior in high school, that's got to be fun, and
Paul
we
remembers
appreciate you sending
Paul-
in your photos. Tell everybody where they could find your YouTube channel. It's Backlash Boys is your YouTube channel. Anything else that you're doing so we can get you some people to get you some views and followers.
that. Yes.
Yeah, of course. So on YouTube, it is Backlash Boys, and Boys is Boyz instead of Boys because we
Oh.
think we're edgy.
That's gangsta.
And you can find us on Instagram at Edmond High Bass Team as well, and we post a lot of things involving Outsider Tackle Box and our other sponsors and what we're doing. We're going to be back on the trail here coming up in 2 weeks, the
Nice.
30th and 31st. We'll be out at Eufaula,
Nice.
fishing the high school series. So
Cool.
Well, good luck with that. We wish you the best in all your tournaments, and continue to send in photos and come back on the show as much as you want.
Absolutely,
We do
bud.
broadcast this thing nationwide, as
Actually,
you
it's
know,
worldwide.
and worldwide.
Woo.
We actually, since you've been with us since the very beginning, Paul. So thank you very much. But we started just in my garage, and now we have a distribution in Germany. So our
Yeah.
boxes are sold in Europe, and we get
Yeah.
larger.
Why'd you look at me when you said larger?
Because you take up a lot of space.
I do.
So we have been growing, and when you and I spoke, I mean, we're pretty much just getting off the ground, and so it's been a great ride, and we're glad you were a part of it.
Absolutely.
And we understand
For
you
sure.
were you actually at one point, Paul, and the Edmond High Bass team were our number one referral source.
Yep.
And I know you didn't know that, but just so you know, we do track that. And yes, Paul and his group of buddies.
The Backlash boys were on top of it for a long while.
Yeah.
So
The longest.
Yep.
Well, thanks for coming on the show. We'd love to have you back, and we'll reach out pretty soon here. We bootstrap this whole thing, so the money that we put together is usually out of mine and Tommy's pocket. And so our sponsorships kind of roll.
So be sure to vote on the FedEx vote thing.
Yes, thank you, Tommy.
For sure, yeah, I've been voted on that daily.
Good,
So.
good. Yeah, that'll definitely help us out. We want to put together a better show and a bigger deal for everybody here. So,
Of course.
So from all of us here at Outsider Tackle Box, fish more, tight lines.
Tight lines. Have a good
keep in
Saturday,
touch,
bud.
And we'll reach out soon.
Yep. Take care.
All right, thank
Thanks,
you
Paul.
guys.
All right.
Take
Bye.
care.
Bye.